welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to Toronto FC versus DC United, MLS 2025 Week 12. We are here. We are ready to go. And Toronto is playing DC. And yeah, I started a little bit early, but it is what it is. How we doing, Henry? How we doing? How we doing, Sean? So, with that being said, before we talk about the starting 11s, I don't know about that, but 10 minutes away from the final whistle, plus some stoppage time with Chicago, Atlanta United. If Chicago holds on to the win, Toronto will go above Atlanta with a win tonight, this afternoon. So, because they'll have a better goal differential and tie them on wins. So, with 12 games each. So, if Atlanta loses against Chicago and Toronto wins tonight, Toronto would be above Atlanta. Possible. I mean, DC ain't that great. They're only, if we win, we'd only be 2 points behind them. They aren't that good. We still drew them in DC, which that's a horrible, Atlanta just tied it. Atlanta scored. It was an own goal. Crap. Hasn't came up on FOTMob yet, but we'll see it. Sam Rogers, Chicago Fire, 1-1. Of course it happened. Cool. Of course. Of course. Still says 1-0 on FOTMob, though, for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okay, it is 1-1 now. Okay. So scratch all that. Toronto won winning today anyway. So. What do you mean, of course? I mean, of course, Toronto loses their opening to jump over people. I wasn't saying, of course, at you. I was saying, of course, at Toronto's luck. That's what I was saying, of course, about. But if Toronto won today, that might mean the Leafs lose tomorrow. And honestly, I don't want that. So, frankly, exactly. Smart to go earlier. It's a better experience. I say Toronto 1-0. Toronto 1-0. It's my prediction. Probably going to be wrong, but good for you. PSG. PSG will probably win. I want Inter Milan to win. Just like that Man City final. I want Inter Milan to win. They won't. It's just like 2 years ago. Well, that's a smart bet. You'll probably win that. That's a smart bet. I'm early. Well, good for them. Good for them. They better be. Either way, this will be cool. Inter could be the first Italian team since 2010 to win UCL. PSG could win their first UCL, possibly a treble. Yeah. Better than Man City, honestly. honestly, I'm early. Goal for Chicago Fire, thank God. We're still losing today. Philly versus Columbus, huh? This will be interesting. I think Gazdag's going to make Philly pay. You know what? Yeah, I think Gazdag's going to make Philly pay. It is in Philly, though, but shouldn't have traded Gazdag. That was a bad idea. Todd Rebo or Daniel Gazdag? I mean, Philly's actually done really good this year. They've done way better than I expected them to. Todd Rebo's honestly the reason they're on that run. Huh. We also need Chicago to win. Yeah, but they are winning right now. 2-1. Doesn't matter. Toronto's still going to lose. Kawame scored for Chicago. Good for them. It's Apple TV, Risklander. Oh, by the way, starting 11s. Sean Johnson, back three. Sigurd Rosted, Kevin Long, Cozy Thompson, Petretta Flores, Raul Petretta, Davey Flores, Lorenzo Insigne, Alonso Coelho, Federico Bernardeschi, Ulla Brynhildsen, Theo Corbianu. PSG already won the league. Duh. It's France. Duh, it's France. DC United, Luis Baraza in goal. Hey, they're using a different goalie this time. Weird. Back three, Connor Antley, Lucas Bartlett, Kai Rolls. Midfield four, Aaron Herrera, Boris Anau, Brandon Servania, David, front three, Jose Kojima, Christian Benteke, Jared Stroud. Cool. Risklander. You're cool, but you don't mean that much to me. You gotta mean way more to me for me to even consider letting you share an account. I hopefully say 0. Likely 3. Real 3. Hope 0. Forsberg signature. Well, that's a good one to get. Don't sell it. I mean, nothing works. Nothing works. TFC loses, Leafs win tomorrow. TFC win, Leafs lose tomorrow. So at this point, doesn't really matter. I may be looking at it from a bad way, but you know, I don't know. Nothing works. See, US17 fans are mad at Pulisic from giving Santi credit, saying Santi deserved man of the match instead of him. Oh, God. I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude, so they're teammates on club. He can say good things about him at the club level. I mean, Santi's not a villain. So he plays for Mexico. They play together at club. Starting 11, Sean Johnson. Back three. Oh, it's actually a back four with Apple. Petretta, Long, Rosted, Thompson. It's actually a back four with Apple. Davey Flores, Lorenzo Insigne, Alonso Coelho, midfield three, Theo Corbiano, Ulla Brynhildsen, Federico Bernardeschi. It's actually a 4-3-3. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. I know about Pittsburgh. I can't do it that way. Luis Peraza. David, Kyle Rolls, Lucas Bartlett, Connor Antley, Aaron Herrera. Speaking of a 5 at the back, DC's using one. Jose Kojima, Brandon Cervania, Boris Denal, Jared Stroud, Christian Benteke. It's not a Christmas tree. It's more of a, I don't know what to call it. Spear? Spear, maybe? I know about Pittsburgh, kid. Hey, you know what? Dubs. Hey, you know what? Maybe they needed some good football when it comes to association football. God knows they don't have it with the Steelers. I say that as a Steelers bandwagoner, by the way. Reasons! I don't know why I said that so angrily. I'm actually happy. Either way, why did I say that so angrily? It's happy reasons. Why was that? That was weird. Actually, you know what? That was weird. That was weird. It's happy reasons. That was... And it fits my teams because they suck. They're more like the Leafs than TFC, but it fits. It fits. It does fit. TFC wearing white, DC wearing black. You know, I mean, it's good reasons. Why did I sound so angry? That's a party foul. That's a party foul. Oh. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? Okay. All right. Oh, we're getting a holy war. Okay. All right. We're getting a holy war. All right. Somebody's getting batteries thrown. Is it a Subaru Park? Yeah, somebody's getting batteries thrown at him. Okay. And somebody's probably going to stomp on a terrible towel, too. I mean, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds do wear black and yellow. Yeah, somebody's stomping on a freaking terrible towel, aren't they? Yeah. Oh, Lord, it's a holy war. Oh, Lord, it's a holy war. No. I kind of have to lean towards... Well, I don't know if I do. Well, it depends. I don't think Reasons knows there's a USL team in Pittsburgh, so I don't think I have to lean towards them, but you know, maybe. Cool. Maybe. I don't care. Yes, they're the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like, you don't know Sidney Crosby? Okay. All right. Right now, game 3. If they lose game 7, I'll be very pissed off about that. But for now, game 3. If they lose game 4, that'll definitely be more of a, oh, shit, than pissed off moment. Unless they lose like 4-0, then, oh, yeah. But right now, game 3. I don't. Yeah, I saw it. Really? One dude throws a beer bottle, think it was going to go like full ECW with the freaking chairs and trash. Cena ain't got heat like that since ECW One Night Stand. Nobody knows. Well, I mean, from personal experience, nobody knows them. that's really a very small sample size, but it's a small sample size of one. Nobody knows them. It's a small sample size of one. Nobody knows them. If I go by my small sample size of one person, they don't know them. They don't know them. Which, I mean, that kind of sucks, but they're definitely third place. Well, no. Well, I don't know. Are they better than the Pirates? Let's not forget them. Probably performance-wise, they're better. People knowing about them and watching them, probably worse. Better use of your time, though. How we doing? Chicago won. Good. Well, at least I get to watch it completely. I don't have to worry about missing most of the show. I get to watch the match, do the review, start watching Backlash, and then watch the whole show pretty much. Thankfully. Oh, look, a DraftKings Sportsbook ad on MLS Season Pass. What do you know? That's the first time of many. Win probability presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Of course, show it. Toronto has a better winning probability, 39.5%. Yeah, that's going to happen. Yay. It's in Subaru Park. Okay, Holy War then. How we doing, Dylan? Atlanta almost tied it again. Well, that means the Leafs won. Well, 4, 5, 6. Florida ain't winning 2 or 3 in a row. Marcos de Oliveira's the center ref. Well, this guy's new. I ain't heard of him before. So let's see how bad he is. VAR ref, Sean Tahini. Hell, I ain't heard of him either. So, actually, wait. My bad. I don't know which one is which. It might have been a she. It actually might have been a she. There was one dude and one. It might have been a she, actually. I wasn't even looking. I was looking at the names. Then I'll look up. I'm like, oh, well. I mean, yeah, Sean could be a girl's name, yeah. I mean, there's a Sean Johnson who's a gymnast, and there's a Sean Johnson who's a goalie. One's a chick, one's a dude. I mean, so do with that what you will. I say that because our goalie is the dude, Sean Johnson. So I say that, and I like gymnastics. Yeah, good for you. 31st minute. Yeah, good ones. Chicago won. Good. I like you. I don't know why you think I hate you, but I like you. So I don't get why you think that. I mean, I understand it. It might be low self-esteem. I mean, I don't exactly know. I've had that feeling before where, you know, I feel like I have low self-esteem. I used to be that way, that I questioned, and sometimes I still do question what people think of me. But I understand how you feel. I understand questioning how people feel about you. I understand that. It's just normal. But I consider you a good acquaintance. I consider you positively, you know? So Do I get annoyed sometimes? Yeah, I do. But that's life. Cross in off the free kick. That's out for a goal kick. That's life, though, you know. Like, for me to hate somebody, you got to screw me over. You know, you got to screw me over. Like, you got to make me hate you, you know? Like, yeah, you may annoy me, but, like, you got to freaking stab me in the back for me to hate you. And then who's to say that I don't give you a second chance anyway? Do with that what you will. Yay! We go up a spot if we win. Yay, it works. Cool. Nothing. It's just this game and reviewing this game. That's it. I mean, I would, but yeah. Florida score again. They don't play till Sunday. No, I'm watching the Leafs. Duh. Dale Boca. At least they fired Gago. 440 minutes since the goal of league play. Well, hey, it's not that bad if you had Can Champ. And we still lost that game. Yay. We're getting killed. Florida's actually, Portland's actually good. Barraza makes a save and Brent Hilton doesn't kick it. Oh, Lord, here we go. I don't want to kick his head off. Well, yeah, it probably wouldn't count if you did, but might as well. Maybe you'll actually score a goal. How we doing, Lewis? Yeah, I would. Hey, that's probably the longest he's ever had a profile picture. Next month. It started. Yep, 4 minutes. 4:20. Blaze it. It's a little bit past 4:20 now. Okay. Cool. Spicer, Vancouver Whitecaps win the CONCACAF Champs Cup. Will it count as a American win or Canadian? Canadian, because they're a Canadian team. They represent Canada. They got in by winning the Canadian Championship. But even if Toronto got in by winning MLS Cup, say they did that, which call the pirate, you will. It still will count as a Canadian win. But since Vancouver got in by winning the Voyageurs Cup, it is a Canadian win by a Canadian team. But since you could still qualify through MLS or Leagues Cup, then technically, you know, you could still say, hey, it's actually, but it's not one of those situations. People ask what countries have the best football players, but not ask who has the best refs. Google says France, Italy, England, and Slovenia. Oh, really? I don't know about Slovenian refs, so let's leave them out of this. But England? Man, Google AI must suck then. It can't read. It can't read. Italy, too. I really don't know about French refs because I could give a shit less about their league. They don't seem bad when I watch Jonathan David play, but really I'm just paying attention to Jonathan David, see if he scores. Italy and England, though, they both suck. Both countries are professional refs. They suck. England is worse, but Italy's refs are bad. Like, they're bad. Like, there's a reason why there aren't many Italian referees at international competitions, because they don't deserve it. And if they're there, they might cheat anyway. So, hey, at least I admitted something about Serie A sucked. I know, it's the first time ever, right? It's the first time I've ever done that, right? 649. It's the first time I've ever done that, right? 9 a.m. Well, that ain't so bad. But you're staying up a little bit late to watch. Oh, wait, no, you're not, actually. It's not that late. Oh, Gago. That's what happens, apparently, when you miss out Libertadores and lose to your bitter rivals. And he should have never left Chivas. Where's yeezus when you need him? Hell, where's Alex or GABO when you need them? Somebody needs to troll Gago that isn't me. Now, of course, Chivas sucks right now, but playing forward, right to Barraza, 8th minute. Toronto's put on some pressure. That's the good news. The bad news is they ain't done shit with it, but that's pretty much all year. It's pretty much been all year. But they play in MLS, though. Yeah, but they're a Canadian team that plays in MLS. They couldn't qualify to CONCACAF out of MLS until 2023 season. Until they expanded the CONCACAF shot saved by Barraza. Until they expanded CONCACAF and added the Leagues Cup spots, they couldn't qualify to CCL through MLS. They only could qualify through Canadian Championship, just like Toronto and Montreal. And there was never anything that tested that theory because when Toronto won MLS Cup, they had also won the treble with the Voyageurs Cup. And also, had they not won that 2017 Voyageurs Cup, they would have had to play a playoff against Montreal because they were the 2016 champions to qualify for the 2018 Champions Cup. So either way, there were a couple of things that Toronto could have tested at that treble year that they never had to because they won the Voyageurs Cup. No play-in tie and off the post! Shot! Wide. That'd be a goal kick. I thought that went in, but the shadows fooled me. So, no, Canadian team qualified through Canada's tournament. Canadian champion. Yeah, it did go way wide. Man, those shadows are going to get me. Oh, my God. Google is dumb. You could have said anybody else but Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor, and you might have been right. What are you doing? No. No, I'm not pulling for Whitecaps in the final. No. Because I'm petty. It's just like the time Seattle made the final and won. So, well, no, there's been a couple of MLS versus Liga MX finals where I wasn't rooting for the MLS team. And they lost all of those until Seattle. So it's possible that they'll take a couple. I was also rooting for Toronto that one time when they made the final and it didn't work out. So who knows? But I was rooting against Seattle 3 years ago and they won. So, and then I rooted for LAFC. I rooted for Columbus and they didn't win. Maybe I should root for Vancouver. Maybe I should jinx them, but I won't. If they win, well, I should have jinxed them. I've been here since Dicchio. I've been here since Danny Dicchio, so cross in. Header. I grew up a big fan of Dwayne De Rosario as well, so it's like my first big favorite player, which I know, crazy. Well, that I watched every week. I mean, yeah, there were some Italian players from that World Cup team where they were some of my favorite players. Cannavaro, of course. Buffon, but I didn't watch him every week. I just watched him when they put on an Italy shirt for a long time. Hell, by the time I really started watching European football, I think they were all retired besides Buffon. So, well, no, Pirlo, but he was in MLS at that time. Yeah, he was. Yeah, and Flores. Yeah. Hey, I'm wearing the same jersey they're wearing. Ha 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 ha. Funny. DC sucks. That's the problem. DC ain't that much better than us. So, but then again, Montreal's worse than us. And we lost to them on penalties. So what the hell do I know? Michael Oliver is one of the better English referees. He supports Newcastle. You can't referee a Newcastle game unless it's a friendly. Sad part is he's really good. Man, I wish Toronto had him. Be awesome to have a clinical striker who's actually used to MLS. It'd be awesome. Adam says the reason I support Toronto is because Matty Longstaff used to play for Newcastle. He's the brother of Sean Longstaff. Yep, of course. If only Matty played like the first 4 months of last season, I would have no problems with him. He started coasting since then. Like, he put in like 10 out of 10 performances for like the first 4 months of last season. Then he just started coasting. He's a little bit better this year than he was post February, March, April, May of last year. He's a little bit better. He's been better. He's had moments. But then again, this team might be so bad, he just looks better in comparison. 14th minute. I don't know. Corbianu. Good clear away. Minnesota scored offside. Well, I can't even speak on that. At least it did say USA or MLS. God have mercy on my soul if it did. Still 0-0 Minnesota. It's pretty good. No, this is worse. This is 2012. Oh, this is 2012. By the way, this is Danny Kuverman's level. So who's going to call this team the worst team in the world? Who's going to say it? We got to have somebody say it. Who's going to say it? Actually, I think we had a better start than 7 points through the first 12 in 2023. We actually had a really good start in 2023. It was post like June where shit went south. They actually had a pretty good start, all things considered, in 2023. It was after June where everything started going south. Like late May, early June. That's when shit started to really go south. Like the start was where they banked most of those points. It's hard to come by later on. Louis Shea was off. He scored. Dear goodness, yes. 15th minute. 0-0. Toronto looks pretty good right now. Because he had that Canadian manager who was from County Durham. Yep, because John Herdman was from Durham. And then he loved playing with drones. He's like Barack Obama. He loved playing with drones. I don't regret that joke. No. Or Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer also loved playing with drones. He might still do that. I don't know. You don't see a drone on his YouTube channel. He's got bigger fish to fry than a drone, but whatever. Nowadays, but whatever. Ball cleared away. Stopped at McDonald's close to Red Bull Arena. At least you still call it Red Bull Arena. Same. Gates opened at 6:30, which is 5:30 Central, so that's still like 2 hours. 4:54. Me and my friend are early as shit. Oh, look, BWP profile picture. There we go. I mean, I've never had a McDonald's meal last me 2 hours, or hour and a half. But do that what you will. Do that what you will. like a Louis Shea. Me too. I think he's a really good player. With the fact that Minnesota has 3 strikers, it would have been awesome if Toronto could have traded for him last summer when they kind of didn't want him. But they didn't do it because, of course, this team is stupid. Today's Mother's Day in Mexico, so happy Mother's Day to Mexican moms. Happy early Mother's Day to American moms and Canadian moms. I think Britain does it earlier, but I think Canada does it the same day as USA, yeah. But yes, I agree. I echo your sentiments. Corbiano with a shot saved by Barraza. Toronto looks really good right now, actually. I won't front. Tani tried to chip Ustadi. Lol. Well, you mean goes undefeated for the rest of the year, wins MLS Cup, but next 2 seasons they end 15th and only win 10 times, which means 5 times each season. You know what? Shit, I would accept it. I would accept it, yeah. Gives me at least a little bit of respite from bullshit. Yeah, I'd accept that deal. I'd accept that deal. Preferably with Robin Fraser still in the job. Do they win the CCL, though, while they go finish 15th? That's the question. If they don't, yeah, Robin Fraser could keep the job and still do it. They win the CCL, though. Say the phrase, right? You know it. Say the phrase. Say the phrase. You know it. Lol. Yeah, Bauer's back in Japan. Yep, back with Yokohama. Yeah. Yeah, Bauer's back in Japan. 19th minute, 0-0. Yep, thought so. I know the UK is different. McDonald's breakfast tomorrow. Hash browns? You know what's funny? I don't like the shredded hash browns, but I love the hash brown patties. Like from McDonald's, I love hash brown patties. But when they're shredded, I just no. Like the funny thing is I really love like local breakfast joints / Denny's / Denny's. I will not go to an IHOP. I've never went to Waffle House before, but I kind of want to give it a shot. I kind of want to give Waffle House a shot. I'm not going to lie. It probably is still better than IHOP, but I don't know if that's the carny in me saying I want to give Waffle House a shot or that's the Southern in me. I don't know which it is. It could be both. It could be both. I still will never IHOP for me. There are places where I went to local pancake houses, breakfast houses, like the Wisconsin Dells, which that was pretty good. I think it was called Mr. Pancake up there. And then there was one in Sevierville that was also a local breakfast house, which is pretty damn good. Those are really good. You know, those are really good. Well, actually, we went to Mr. Pancake like once each time in the Dells, but we also went to the Denny's there, which was way more like 80s. But I will say, if there's like a local pancake house, breakfast place, I would rather go there. Normally, they're pretty good, but if not, Denny's. As I said, I also should probably give Waffle House a try. I'm sure it's better than IHOP. IHOP? No. Never. No. Not in a million years. No. No. But while I'm at it, I love hash brown patties. I don't like shredded hash browns. which normally they don't like just up and give to you. Some places just up and give it to you. Pancake houses don't. But like when you get like the Grand Slam, they sometimes just up and give it to you. Like when you make your own slam or whatever. Or was it the was just the chicken fried steak meal? Either way. 23rd minute. Either way. Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago for the UK. It's confusion-wise. Mother's Day different everywhere, but Father's Day is the same everywhere. You know what? I don't get it, but here's my thought. Even though there's a Mother's Day and Father's Day, you should always celebrate your mother and father. And frankly, what parents have to do to how hard it is, you have to honestly look at that every day and be like, hey, they do tough things to raise kids, and it's a job. It's a job all its own. But I think you should always, especially your own, every day cherish your parents. Shot, save, Brent Hildson! Shot over the bar. You got to be kidding me. That was such a good chance, but you got to cherish your parents every day. Because one day, they won't be here, and you will. And that's going to be a horrible day. And I don't know what would feel worse. Losing both your parents, like one after the other within like 6 months, or like losing one and then it be like 5, 6, 7 years you lose the other. I don't know what would be worse. I'm not sure. That's just an inner thought, but I would say personally, I don't know. Basically, my point is, even though there's a Mother's Day and Father's Day, you should always, always, always cherish your parents. Unless something crazy happened that makes you not do that in your life, you should always, which that's a thing. That's a thing. I'm not saying everybody had good home lives. I'm not saying that. If you didn't have a good home life, if your parents were shit, then don't. But like, I grew up with parents that did everything for me, did everything they could for me, that loved me unconditionally. Of course, I'm going to be happy that I was lucky to have that family set up, and also grandparents that looked after me and cared about me until they passed. On my dad's side, of course, that lived with us, and that meant a lot to me as well. And they felt like a second set of parents. And I honestly, the way I grew up, I think that was an absolute blessing in disguise to have my Nana and Pop around for as long as I did. And I think that is a good thing. Because honestly, So honestly, I look at them, even though they're gone, my Nana and Pop, I look at them like they were a second set of parents. And I cherish them as well. And I miss them so damn much. Which I guess I kind of, in a way, did experience losing one. And then, like, 8 years later, losing another when it came to my grandparents, my Nana and Pop, because shit, it's been 14 years since we've lost Pop. Damn, it's been 14 years. Damn. And it's been 5, 6 since we lost Nana. Shit, man. So maybe I kind of understand how that feels in a roundabout way. But point is, if your parents were good parents, they loved you, they cared about you, and they didn't do you wrong, you should celebrate them every day. That's my point. You should celebrate them every day. Yeah, exactly. Good taste. What about Tim Hortons? Oh, the food there sucks. Oh no, the food there at Tim Hortons sucks. No, it's gone off the rails. And I don't really like coffee anyway, so no. 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 I don't really like coffee anyway, so do with that what you will. I don't really like coffee anyway. That's probably the only thing you go to Tim Hortons for at this point. The food sucks. And even the Timbits have fallen off a bit. No. Yeah, I still prefer the patties. Yeah, we got a double on Wednesday because Toronto lost game 3. No matter what happens tomorrow. Yay. So we'll be focusing on both the Leafs and Toronto FC. Shot. Hey, Toronto's playing well, though. 29th minute on other news. I think you already told me about that one, Rory, in Portland. I'll remember that. Well, I prefer chicken fried steak and white gravy. You know, that's what I prefer. Maybe a little bit of gravy on the eggs over hard. Maybe a little bit. It goes over a little bit. Shot! Behind the net. Toronto's playing really well. They're going to blow this game. They'll be 0-0 throughout, then just lose late. Yeah, probably. Benteke. That does sound pretty good. At this point, Barrow. My bad, Barrow. It was Barrow. At this point, Barrow. Bryn Hilton seems like a flop to me. Of course. Of course. Why did we let Jesus Jimenez go? He's bagging them in India. At least it says he has some sort of talent. 30th minute. Yeah, I understand that, but you could always. But the way I see it as well, you could also celebrate what your mother and mother-in-law did for you on that day as well. And I think how do I put this? I think you could celebrate what they were to you and what they did for you on that day, even if they're gone. And I'm sure up there, they'll look down and see he still thinks of us. They'll be happy about that. And I think that's what matters. Just because somebody's gone, you shouldn't forget, especially when it comes to your parents and family, you shouldn't forget what they were to you or what they did for you and how much they loved you and how much they cared about you. You can't forget that. And how much they meant to you. You can't forget that. You can't forget that. It might hurt more days. It might hurt more certain days than others, but if you still show love to them while they're gone, it's easier. It's easier. Corbianu, cross in. It's much easier. I think it's harder. I think what makes it harder is if you just forget. You try to just forget them completely. It's a different state of being. Not having a person that meant so much to you right there. I could say that. But forgetting about them just makes the pain worse. Because the way I like to see it, and I'll use my Nana as an example. I know when I watch a wrestling show up in the living room, she's not on the other side of that couch. And she hasn't been for 5 years. But what I do know is she's an angel right here on my shoulder. That's what I do know. And I just hope that when she looks down at me, she sees me thinking about her, she's proud of me. She looks down at me, she's proud of me. That's all I hope. That's all I hope. Yeah. Which that's even worse. Like, I can only imagine what it would be like to be a parent who loses a child, because the way the world should go is the parents go first. And it's pain for the child who loses their parents. But you know, if you live long enough, that's coming. At some point, you're going to figure out that's coming. But it's worse if you're a parent who loses a child. Way worse. Because that's not the way it's supposed to go. I don't know them, Manny. Is Starbucks better than Tim Hortons? I used to say no, but at this point, I don't know. At least I have white hot chocolate. Well, there you go. They're actually playing good today, and Barraza's down hurt. Looks like they're going to have to bring in the other keeper. I wasn't going to be live for Newcastle anyway. I'm sure she is, Lewis. How we doing, Steve? I think they will. I think they will. Go TFC. Yes. They're actually playing well today. So they'll still somehow lose in the 90th minute, but if it's 0-0 through 90, that's pretty good. Please tell me that this doesn't mean the Leafs lose tomorrow. I think they're getting the Dutch Bros like Chesterfield or something soon. Something like that. Minnesota 1-0 Miami. You're right. I've been saying this for... Hold on. Let me count. A year and a half now? Well, we just got Flores last year, but I've been saying this for most of last year. I've been saying Oso's washed for at least a year and a half. That for sure. With Coelho and Flores being on the pitch over Oso, I've been saying that for about, I'd say a year now. Because we just got Flores last year, so it couldn't be a year and a half. But I've also been banging the drum about Flores should be playing in MLS for TFC for 5 years. So when we got him, 4 years. I said it. I was right. Huh. Funny, right? This is why you listen to me. I was right. 36 minute. Say the line. Call the Pirate. Playing forward, cleared away by TFC. But yeah, I've been saying Oso's been washed for a year and a half. Since he had the head injury, he's been washed. Like, he got the armband way too late. That's the problem. And honestly, Oso is kind of like Austin Matthews in a way. I hate comparing Michael Bradley to John Tavares, but I kind of have to. So bear with me. Michael Bradley, when this team was great, was an amazing leader. If there's one thing Michael Bradley was that I can't discount him for, is even when he sucked, the man knew how to lead. The man knew how to lead a team. Tell them, hey, this is what you do. He was good as a general. He had a good general personality. Even if he started to suck later on, He always had a general personality. If that's something he's always had, Michael, that's something he always had, even when he started to lose it physically. And he also started to throw the team under a bus with Bob. He still had a general mentality. He didn't want it to be so bad. He didn't expect it to blow up in his face completely, bringing his dad over. But either way, Michael always had a general mentality. That's something he always had, and I will respect that. I will give Michael Bradley respect for that. Did I like how his physicality just died out those last 3 years? Do I like how he threw the team under a bus to bring in his father? No. Do I think it was kind of egotistical to save his own legacy and kill anything else to where nobody else have the legacy he has? I kind of think it was an inside job. But either way, one thing I'll always respect about Michael Bradley is he had a general personality. Same goes for John Tavares. John Tavares has a general personality. He might be a little bit more of a soft talker, but he knows how to lead a team. Austin Matthews is no leader, just like Jonathan Osorio is no leader. And also the worst part is Austin Matthews, his wrist is busted. He can't shoot, but at least he can play a defensive 200-foot game. Oso can't do shit at this point. So he can't lead and he can't do shit. And honestly, if you want him to be passable, you should want him to be further back than further forward at this point. Oso's like Austin Matthews, but he got the armband way too late, and he has nothing to really build out of his limitations now from age and all that. And him, it's just age. Austin Matthews has a busted wrist. But Austin should have never gotten the C. I'm sorry. Just like Oso, honestly, it was way too late to give him the armband. They're no leaders. They're not leaders at all. God love Oso for what he's done and the fact he's always been TFC. Sorry, he doesn't deserve the armband. He's no leader. I'm sorry. He is no leader. I have a good feeling to know who a leader is. He's no leader. Like I tell you, Sheldon Keefe was soft. Craig Berube is a winner. He is a leader. I said that a year ago because I knew. Because I didn't have to see him win with the Blues to call him a winner, but he did. But he already had the vibe of a leader, Craig Berube. But he also won with the Blues. And they were stupid to fire him. My point is, I know a leader when I see one, and Austin Matthews and Jonathan Osorio are not leaders. They're good players. Oso was a good player at his time. Austin Matthews, even with a 200 game and having a busted wrist, a 200-foot game and having a busted wrist, he's still a good player. He ain't no leader, though. He should never be wearing the C. Oso should never have the armband. And I'm glad Coelho's playing. It sucks that Oso busted his shoulder, but you know what? If it means Coelho and Flores play, so be it. I don't think Robin Fraser has the balls to drop Oso. Now would a certain swashbuckler have the balls to drop Oso? Did you not just listen? Did you not just listen? Do with that what you will. Forza Bernadeschi. See? I agree. At this point, I agree, which he's wearing the armband today. So, true. Can't wait for 6 weeks' time because I will be in Cancun. Well, good for you, Lewis. It is a beautiful place. I was at Playa del Carmen once. I want to go back. I want to go back. Funnily now, the hotel I stayed at back in 2005, shortly after, became an 18-plus hotel. Now, funnily enough, it's not or was it 21? Either way, I could still go back to that resort now. Well, I could have done that, 7 years ago, but still, or 4, depending if it was 21 plus. But it's funny, now I could go back to the same resort I stayed at in 2005 before they made that rule, which would be funny. If I did go back to Playa, that would be funny. Which I probably would. I don't think they closed it, but I got to remember the name. Either way, well, I mean, he was a warrior. He was a warrior. He did was, I don't know. So he did. That's the way the world works, I guess. I don't know what other thoughts I could have. I'm loving this rant. Well, thank you. Sorry, I like Michael Antonio, and I wish he gets back from his leg injury. But the dude's like, what, 36 now? Our luck, he's a bum striker too, because he just had a car accident and broke his leg. Our luck, we signed him, and he's a bum. I like Michael Antonio. I think he's a good guy, and I hope his car accident, he completely heals from it. Would I want Toronto to sign him on a cut price DP deal? No. Our luck, he would suck. Our luck, he would suck because he busted his leg after a car accident. And he's 36. It'll be a freaking miracle if he plays football again. And scores. I wouldn't want Toronto to be the freaking test tube for that. My bad. I like the dude, but I wouldn't want Toronto to be the test tube for it. And Bryn Hilton gets pushed down in the box. You know what? Okay. Whatever. I agree. Adam Lowry is a damn good leader. He might not put up the points, but damn, that man just goes for it every night. He's a solid player. Very solid player. There's a reason why he has the C. He might not have the points, but the way he plays, he leads by example. Even though Kyle Connor might get more points, Shifley might do more. I think Adam Lowry being the Jets captain, that was always the right call. That was always the right call. Yes, I agree. Well, you might get that draw. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Yeah, I agree with that. Vardy would be better. Vardy would be better. 2 separate hotels put together, same company, one an adult resort, the other one's a family resort. Let me guess, sandals. Beaches and sandals, let me guess. Or something like that. It's a perfect day. I've had the time of my life. Beaches and sandals. Let me guess. Corner or throw in for DC. Herrera to take. Ha! Sorry. Well, I'm laughing at the Yankees, not you. Let me be clear. I'm laughing at the Yankees. Hey, they finally got him. Good job. Too damn late. But hey, maybe Mikel Merino could go play striker now because they got Zubamendi. Because God knows they probably won't spend for a striker now. So Mikel Merino plays the whole season as striker. You let Eddie Nketiah go for this? You're idiots. Oh, by the way, speaking of, the only London club not to make a European final is Arsenal. Their trophy is Martin Zubamendi. We wanted him last summer. We'll finally get him now. You bunch of bums. And it's halftime, 0-0. You bunch of bums. Lol. Minnesota lead 1-0. Rolton splash. Okay, well, that makes sense. Long Juan scored for Minnesota. Lol. We're going to cook Arsenal till Chelsea win the Conference League. Well, no. Either way, I mean, Arsenal loses when the Europa League happens. Tottenham either wins a trophy or Man United wins a trophy. Arsenal finished second. Well, they may still finish lower. And a team who finished 17th and 16th will win a trophy. And one of them might be Tottenham. Bums. Mikel Arteta is a fraud. One trophy in 5 years. And that was a bubble FA Cup when Christian Pulisic did his hamstring. By the way, that was Project Restart Pulisic, who was pretty damn good. That was a different Pulisic, man. And he did his hamstring. Then Arsenal won that final. By the way, I watched that live. Pain, I know. Well, on my own. Didn't cover it live. Either way. One trophy in 5 years. You're a fraud. How does he still have a job? But second place. Run up against Man City 2 straight years. That don't mean shit. You don't see anybody saying Jurgen Klopp. He won the Premier League at least, but you don't see anybody saying, well, the difference is those Liverpool teams really did get screwed. I'm sorry. Arsenal didn't. They choked. There's a difference. Like, if you look at those Liverpool seasons where they were 1 point behind City and they lost it on the final day, it was because City came back. Liverpool did their job. City came back and won the league by getting that result. Do we remember the Steven Gerrard Aston Villa prop? The Steven Gerrard and Coutinho will finally win Liverpool the league prop? Do we all forget that? For example, do we all forget that? That there was prop of, Steven Gerrard's finally going to win Liverpool the league. Do we forget that happened? Liverpool did all they could. They got screwed. Which, I don't know if you could say screwed, but they did everything they could. They still lost. Those Liverpool second places against Man City are different. I'm sorry. Arsenal second places, the ones where they were closer to Man City, they bottled it at the end. Let's not forget, they played City, lost, bottled it. Still took to the last day, bottled it. The year after, bottled it. On the last day, mind you. They had some really bad draws to lead to it, too. They really could have still won the league, but they, drew their last 3 of whatever last year? Something like that? Yeah. No, Arsenal blew it. Liverpool gave it everything they had. There's a difference between Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool second places, 19, 22, and 23. Wait. No, 21. Either way. The Liverpool 3 second places, every time they had that second place, it's 2021. They just got in. They had a sort of bad year. 21, 22. They had the quadruple. That didn't happen. '18, 19, 21, 22. Oh, 21, 20, or 2021. My bad. That was the bad year. 2021, or 21, 22, 22, 23. I might be confused, actually. Either way, whatever. The Liverpool second places to Man City, they earned those. They should have won those leagues. I feel like Liverpool got hard done by. Arsenal blew it. There's a difference. Yeah, same here. I'm like, is that Jurgen Klopp? I saw the ad the first time. I'm like, is that Jurgen Klopp? I'm like, oh, I'm on freaking point this one out, just like I point out whoever a Canadian actor is or musician. What's with all the 2020 MLS? Oh, well, that's 2022. What's with all these old MLS clips? What's this commercial? Oh, now there's the new stuff. Okay, now we're getting a bit more realistic or certain about now. Oh, it's a Continental Tire Sunday Night Soccer ad. Well, there you go. Yeah, I point out Jurgen Klopp's ad like every time it comes on, just like I point out every time there's a Canadian actor, musician. You know they're Canadian, right? With that being said, interesting. 13 shots to 1. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half. 0-0 between both these teams. We'll be back. Sit tight. Pretty good performance by Toronto. Question is can they actually score? Sit tight. Be back. We'll find out. We are back. We are back for the stats at the half. TFC's played well for the first 45. They should be winning this game. They're not. DC's only had one shot. Yeah, that's going to end badly for us. That's going to end badly for us. Okay. 59% possession to 41% possession. 14 shots to 1. 5 shots on goal to 0. 204 accurate passes, 84% to 124. 73% pass accuracy. 3 fouls to 8. 3 corners to 0. 14 shots to 1. 5 shots off the goal to 1. 5 shots on goal to 0. That's 10, though. I could do that math. Oh, 4 block shots. Okay, that makes sense. 243 pass to 170, 84% pass accuracy to 73% pass accuracy, 8 throws to 15, 14 touches opposition box to 2, 0 offside to 0, 0 yellow cards to 0, 0 red cards to 0. Toronto's the better team tonight. It's that simple. And that's the problem. Yay, there we go. $100. Well, no. Virtual cookie to you. Better. That's the answer. That's the answer. There it is. All right. That's the problem. Yes. No finishing players. No players who could finish. None. 0, zilch. 0. 0, zilch. Nada. Ha. You find it funny because it is funny. Bunch of frauds. Now, if only the Miami hockey team could lose like that, that would be nice. I'm still pissed off, yeah, about last night. Thank you very much. Yep. I wish we had that. I wish we had the same. We don't. Man, we're trash. Toronto's playing well. They should be winning. They're not because they can't finish. And we're back. Let's win this game because honestly, we've been the better team. When we lose, I don't know if I'm gonna crash out, but we're gonna be. It may happen. We'll see what happens, though. Second half about to start. Well, that's a good sign. Here we go, second half. DC to kick off. That's okay. Yeah, Spicer should be the starting striker at this point. Cool. That's useful. And we're off in the second half. 45 more minutes. Full free drawstring bag. That's pretty good. That's useful. And they gave it right to Benteke. That'll go out for goal kick. No. Benteke kicked it. It went off a player. That should be a corner. I won't complain, but clown show. Cool. Gates are still not open. Well, yeah, that's about an hour or so-ish. Still got about an hour, I would say. Bernadeschi puts it on, crosses in, saved by Barraza. Yeah, it's still Barraza. They didn't sub him out yet. Yeah, I think that's about standard. Apparently the Watford training ground is on fire. That sucks. That sucks. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. I could make a joke about Watford firing managers, but I'm not. That'd just be tasteless. Corner for DC. Hey, you know what? You get to experience a tailgate with 40 people. That sounds fun. Sounds also like a tailgate at the Pac-10, but, you know, whatever. Out for a corner. Man, this referee, okay, yeah, corner. Didn't even really show it. Good night. Good night, Lewis. Corner, DC, cross, header. Oh, they can break. Here we go, Insigne. Going forward. Corbianu. Still Corbianu. Cross, header, goal! Goal! Lorenzo Insigne with a diving header, and it's 1-0 Toronto. Corbianu with a perfect pass, and Lorenzo with a diving header into the far post. Beats Barraza 1-0. There it is. Lore! What a cross. 1-0. Hey, good for him. He scored. Corbianu to Insigne. Woo! DC is overrated. Yeah, I told you they sucked. What a cross. Boom! Dude, if they're complaining about offside, how? He was in between both defenders. I don't know how you could complain about that. Robin is happy, he loves it. That just may have saved his job. Lorenzo Insigne. 49th minute. 1-0. I just hope this if TFC wins tonight, I hope that doesn't mean Leafs lose tomorrow. Maybe this just means I can't have a perfect weekend. There only could be 2 wins, and TFC is using one of them, so that means the Leafs can only have one. I can't have a perfect weekend. Maybe that's what this means. I don't know. Maybe that's what this means. I prefer it to be that. As in, I'll take 2 out of 3. I would have preferred it to be 2 for the Leafs, but I guess TFC needs a win more than the Leafs need a sweep. So basically what I'm saying is, as long as the Leafs come back to Toronto with a chance to eliminate the Panthers in Game 5 during a double live stream watch-along reaction, just to say that, I'm good. Just, you better come back home with a chance to end it in 5. You better. I think they will. With the way, you know what? I've kind of calmed down from last night. The Leafs played their most crap game against the Panthers, and really they just lost because of some bad bounces that they really shouldn't have let in or let happen in the first place. And that was at Florida. They took them to overtime and dominated overtime and really arguably should have won that game. If the Leafs come out like they did the first period and play all that for the 60 minutes, they should win. Like, honestly, if the Leafs play Game 4 like they did the first period and overtime and half of the third for the whole game, they should beat them and make it 3-1. But so I'm not as worried. Of course. Will it work? I'm not saying they are good or aren't good, but the Leafs are just as good. Like, arguably, like, this Leafs team is different. They are just as good as the Panthers. They're skating with them, skate for skate, inch for inch, mile for mile, kilometer for kilometer. Except for that second period of Game 3. The Leafs are not going to fold in on themselves like that again. And if Wolff didn't get pushed into the net, if Riley didn't give up the own goal, and Marner back checked, which I'm sure they'll fix all those mistakes tomorrow, they should win. The Panthers won because of bounces and some bad mistakes that the Leafs committed in Florida. They're not going to do that a second game in a row. Now, you could also say, but the Leafs are not going to score 3 goals before the Panthers score 1, or have a 2-goal lead before the Panthers, while the Panthers only score 1. You might be right, but we'll deal with that tomorrow, which we will be live tomorrow at 6:30, 6:25 Central, 7:25 Eastern for Game 4. We'll deal with that tomorrow. All I'm saying is at least give me one Leafs win this weekend. I'll take 2 out of 3. 1 TFC win, 1 Leafs win. I'll take it. I'll take that. I can't have a perfect weekend. My luck, that's impossible. So, but either way, I think possibly Game 6. I do think the Leafs will win this series, though. Well, thank you. So you understand what I'm saying. It might be 6, but Game 7 would be absolute freaking hell on me. I don't care. It would be hell. Even if this team is different, Game 7 would be hell. Well, they won Game 7 last year, though. Are you talking about the Panthers are now in the Oilers' shoes? Is that what you're saying? Got it. I get it. Probably the fact that Panthers are in the Oilers' shoes now. Speaking of Oilers, what the hell are you doing starting Stewart over Pickard? Pickard has to lose the crease, not be hurt. I hope if Pickard is really hurt and he has to come back a little bit later, I hope he gets back in once he's healthy. Do I think he's that hurt? No. At least playoffs level hurt, it doesn't seem like it. So the fact that the Oilers made that decision for Game 3, I'm a little bit pissed off about that. I won't lie. Pickard doesn't deserve to lose the crease like that at all. Oilers are up 2-0. And he got ran, but I don't think he's that hurt. We'll find out, though. I don't think he deserved to lose the crease like that. 55th minute. (1-0) Toronto. Oilers coach said Pickard is day-to-day. Well, interesting. If Toronto wins tonight, they finally get their first home win of the season. Yeah, but Pickard shouldn't lose the crease like that. If he is that hurt that he can't go, I hope he gets back in once he's healthy and ready to go. Just like, honestly, I don't think Stolarz deserves to lose the crease for the Leafs either. Cross in. Once he's healthy, he better get back in if he can play. Brynhildsen Has a shot saved by Barraza right to his hands. So it's the same thing, sort of. We'll find out on May 31st. And if they play at the same time as the Leafs, we might have a double that day. If they play in between the Champions Final, Champions League, and Toronto, no. I got to review both. So once I'm live, score updates. You're probably right, though. LAFC isn't that good this year. But, well, playing forward, Toronto. Yeah, but it's a CONCACAF spot that got taken away from CONCACAF. It should be filled by a CONCACAF team. If it was Al Nassr, it would have been absolutely and utterly smacking of corruption. Now, I know they already did that by putting Miami in, but at least Miami got the home slot. So I guess you could have called it a wild card, but CONCACAF would have raised hell by being screwed like that. So do with that what you will. I think they made the right decision doing a play-in, at least when it comes to giving the spot to CONCACAF. I think the play-in was the right decision. Now, and honestly, LAFC America, at the time they decided this, America was number one in the FIFA rankings when it came to CONCACAF and unqualified. LAFC was the runner-up to Leon. I think it makes sense. Now, speaking of Al Nassr, it sounds, I don't know how real this rumor is, but it sounds like Chelsea is going to use that loan move that it sounds like Chelsea's going to use the loan move window pre-Club World Cup to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo to play the Club World Cup. I know. I hope they do. I would legit, I know it's just a month. I don't care. I would legit buy a Chelsea Cristiano Ronaldo shirt. If they did that, do it. They might actually win the Club World Cup if they do that. Do it. Do it. And they're going to get scored on because of it. Because you know damn well. Just a rumor? I don't think so. They shouldn't have said it. If it was anybody else but Chelsea, I wouldn't give a shit. But they had to say Cristiano to Chelsea, which there's been rumors about that before. Once Cristiano left Man United, there was a consideration that they wanted Cristiano. And I think Bowley stopped that from happening. Was he? No. I mean, Tuchel. Tuchel wasn't there at the time, no. I think Tuchel had left. My bad. Tuchel had left at the time, I think. No, Tuchel had left at the time. But there was a rumor back at the start of Bowley's reign when Cristiano got released by Man United that Chelsea wanted Cristiano. I don't know how true that was, but do I think Cristiano is going to be a full-time signing? No, but a 1-month loan deal to play at the Club World Cup as a hired gun and maybe wins it for Chelsea? Oh, baby, I would love that. I don't know if he's good enough to be in the Prem or the Champions League anymore, but I'll take the 1-month hired gun for the Club World Cup. Depends on how people take it seriously, but I think it could work. I think it could work. And Man United fans would cry. Well, he'd probably treat TFC better than he did Al Ittihad. At least Toronto's a beautiful city. I don't think he would go AWOL like he did Al Ittihad. I don't know. I think he would still do good at TFC. But then again, I've said that before. How's that played out? Benzema. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm sure some team who has an open DP slot would sign him. Besides, he wants to leave Saudi Arabia because he realizes that was a dumbass move. The money is good, but just like everybody else, mostly everybody else who followed Cristiano, they're realizing, oh, you know what? Messi was right. We shouldn't play here. People who are worth their salt and Jordan Henderson can say, you know what? I was wrong. The bag is nice, but this place sucks. Now, of course, there are people like Alejandro Pozuelo who are still there, which that sucks because he should still be in MLS, but either way. Brozovic. Cancelo, yeah. Bernadeschi. Shot wide. But I think the people who are worth a damn are starting to say, you know what? Messi was right. I know America won't suck. Hell, Mexico will probably be better. The bag is nice, but honestly, America's still probably better even if the bag isn't as nice. It's still going to be pretty damn good, though. So that's not a surprise to me. 2-1, Messi scored. Of course he did. Maybe Thomas Muller. Of course he will. I'm not surprised at all. Randall Leal's on for DC for Jose Kojima. 63rd minute. I'm not surprised that's the case. I just hope he's better than frickin' Marco Reus. That was a failure and a half. Morel's on for Stroud. Damn. They didn't get swept away with all the snow. I think he did. I think Cincinnati makes more sense because it's very German. But Sharundalo's leaving LAFC after the year, so that would also be kind of stupid because Sharundalo understands Germany, but he's leaving to go back to Germany. So, since he's probably the better pick for Muller, the question is, do they have an open DP spot? Oh shit, they have a Vander. Well, maybe not then. Or you play him a little bit deeper with a Vander and see what happens. Or you play a Vander closer, but then again, you have Denke. Damn it. I don't see where Muller fits in, though. Unless Evander's just surplus to requirements. I don't understand where you would fit in. Because you can't take out Evander. You can't. I think that would actually be good. I think that would actually be a good move. Jamie Vardy could still score. MLS, he definitely would be good enough to pot 15, 20 in MLS a season, I believe, at this point, for like the next 2 or 3 years. And he still runs on Red Bulls, Skittles, and vodka. So, you know what? Go ahead. I'll take that. It's just true. Like, it's true. All these players who went to Saudi who have big, big names, they've realized 6 months in, the bag is good, the country sucks. I'm not saying they grew morals and stopped wanting to sports washing, but the money don't help them stay. Own goal by DC. It's 2-0 Toronto. Bartlett, the former St. Louis man. Own goal, 2-0. I think it's just the facts of the situation. I don't think it's hate. In December, yeah. Toronto, 2-0. Own goal by Bartlett. Bryn Hildson didn't touch it. Or maybe he did. Cross in. No, it was Bartlett. It was an own goal by Bartlett. Lucas Bartlett, own goal. Bryn Hildson didn't touch it at all. He didn't touch it. Yeah, it was Bartlett. I don't even think Bryn Hildson set him up to touch it anyway. 2-0 Toronto. Yep. It is, though. Back off. Lucas Bartlett, own goal. Toronto has a 2-0 lead. That is 66 minutes. 2-0 Toronto. They're going to win this game. They're going to win this game. Well, it's 67 minutes. They're not going to blow this, right? There's no way, right? There's no way. No, there's no way, right? There's no way. Right now, Toronto is above Atlanta. With the win, they will be, and they're 2 points behind DC. They picked up 4 points off him this year. That's pretty good, considering. Well, good for him. Wow. You might be right. You might be right, but I'm just saying all these players who have a big name who can afford to leave do. Jordan Henderson even did, and I wouldn't say he's that big of a name, but you might have a point. Good. Good. That works. Fair enough. Fair enough. I hope Sammy takes that trade to SmackDown and wins the title off Cena. That's what I want. Now, of course, that won't happen. It'll be Cody Rhodes. It'll be Cody's ass. But at this point, I don't want Cody to win the belt back. Cody could legitimately screw off. He did his thing. Cody could screw off now. He finished the story. Goodbye. I don't need you no more. Bye. Go away. Go away. I was happy he was gone. Go away. Just to lose to Cena, just to get the belt back in December. How about we have somebody like Sami Zayn beat John Cena or CM Punk? Cody is lower on my list. Like, I'd prefer Sammy. That's what I want. I would also accept CM Punk doing a reverse of Money in the Bank 2011. Coming in to save the WWE, and he does save the WWE championship. The guy who took the championship out of WWE is the guy who saves it. That would be nice, too. And I'm also a Punk guy as well. I also like CM Punk as well. He was also one of my favorites, main favorites when he was there at the time as well. So that's fine. Sammy's like my current gen favorite. Punk was my like 1A, 1B with Cena when it was 2013, 2012. So, and I still love Punk. I'm still a Punk guy, but like the early 2010s, 1A, 1B was Cena, Punk for me. I liked them both. My current favorite's Sami Zayn. Like in my current gen, favorite is Sami Zayn. I'd say he's current gen now. He was new gen 10 years ago. Now he's the current. I'd say Sami Zayn. And I'd love to see him take the belt off Cena. I would also love the poetic move of Cena losing the belt to CM Punk, where CM Punk faced Cena, took the belt out of WWE 14 years ago, just to 14 years later be the guy who saves the belt against a heel Cena to keep it in WWE. The guy who took it out himself, or threatened to take the belt out himself. They didn't really work well with that, but still, the summer of Punk. But the guy who threatened to take it out and leave with the belt before 14 years ago and beat John Cena to do that, 14 years later, full circle, stops John Cena from leaving with the belt. That I can accept. I really want it to be Sami Zayn. It probably won't, but yeah, it's rare. See you later, Sean. Exactly. Get out! I would actually be more pissed about that than Cody Rhodes. I love R-Truth, but I would love to see Cena wrestle R-Truth. Like, I don't know, Saturday night's main event in May. Give Cena an easy title defense and him just destroy R-Truth. Like, have that be like a side feud. If R-Truth is Cena's final match, I am going to scream. Like, I love R-Truth. No. Like, I get he acts like John Cena's his childhood hero, even though R-Truth's like 10 years older. But you wouldn't know it because, well, you know the saying. I mean, R-Truth still looks like he's in his 30s. I'm not kidding. He does. He does. He's aged very well. R-Truth has aged very well. Longstaff's on for Coelho. Derek Etienne's coming on 73rd minute. But seriously, R-Truth has aged very well. And he could still wrestle with well, I don't know about wrestle with the best of them. If he was serious, he could. I love R-Truth. No. If they wasted that, Brynhildson's off for Etienne. If they wasted Cena's final match on R-Truth, I think John looks at it the same way. That's delusional. I'm sorry. R-Truth would be better like at Saturday night's main event a couple weeks from now. That would be better. Like out of nowhere. Like, yeah, do I want Cena to wrestle R-Truth at some point this year? Yeah. Just like I want to see him wrestle Joe Hendry. But not as a big feud. Just like it happens, you know? But 3-1 Minnesota. I agree. I think R-Truth is hilarious, but I'm saying that you do the R-Truth match now, as in 2 weeks from now, Saturday night's main event, May 24th. You do it then on regular TV. It's not even a pay-per-view. It's just regular TV. And then at some point, you have Cena make his way to TNA to wrestle Joe Hendry. I want those matches to happen, but they shouldn't be the last one. You know what I'm saying? I love R-Truth, but he ain't last match material. He's more like on the Saturday night's main event in May. It's not even a pay-per-view, but it's a main event of a big TV special, and Cena wins a title match on regular TV. I think Truth deserves that at this point. Main event a TV special. Pay-per-view is a little bit like, I know it's not really on pay-per-view anymore, but I know he did main event a pay-per-view in 2011 against John Cena as a heel, but yeah. It's been 14 years. It's been 14 years. Saturday night, that's good. I think that's good. Yes, R-Truth is still there for a reason. I think he's awesome. And yes, he's aged very well. He does not look 50 whatever, 54, 53. He looks like he's still in his 30s, if not late 20s, and he still moves like it. I'm not down in R-Truth. I'm just saying there's a place to put him in this storyline. It's not the last match. It's on a free TV, live TV special event in 2 weeks. So you don't throw away a bigger match to put it on Saturday night. You put out a match that people want to see, because people want to see Cena versus R-Truth, but it's not a pay-per-view match. It's a Saturday night's main event match at best. So you don't just throw it on SmackDown, because that would be kind of mean. And it's not a pay-per-view match right now, the year of our Lord 2025. Saturday night's main event is big enough for the meaning of what the people want the match to be, but it's also not small enough to be an insult. I think that's a good medium. So 2 weeks from now is where it should be, but it's not an insult by putting it on SmackDown, and it's also not taking away a big pay-per-view match from somebody else who I guess people would rather want to see Cena face. for a bigger match, you know? Shot save. 77th minute. It makes sense. 50 Toronto, Minnesota for $50. Well, you're probably going to get that. 4-1 Minnesota. Yeah. I like the George St. Pierre is at Montreal. I know he's Canadian. Now, of course, he ain't fighting, but he's there. I like GSP. I think he's a really good he was a really good fighter in his day. Him and Chael. Man, those were the days. Those were the days. I kind of want to see GSP and Chael on Chael's show, you know? How crazy would that be? How crazy would that be? Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Good. Well, soccer guy would agree with you. I know Sami Zayn probably won't get the final match. I know. I just wish he would. I've been a Sami Zayn fan since he was at NXT. Well, actually. No, I would say I found out more about his Generico era, but when he was in NXT, starting to get up to the title picture. So, yeah, it was NXT. But I'm a Sami Zayn stan. What can you say? I am. And he's done pretty well for himself. It's not like he's done better than I expected, especially with the Bloodline era and the Renaissance he's had. You know what? He's done pretty well for himself. Multiple-time Intercontinental Champion, the Bloodline storyline, going for the world title against Roman in Montreal. He's definitely gotten higher than I honestly would have expected back in, 2018? There was a little bit where I was like, oh, shit, here we go. Vince is going to waste him. But no, Vince did use him at the end there of his run, and then Triple H definitely let Sammy cook once he started taking over. So I think it's, yeah. I'm talking about Money in the Bank 2011 pay-per-view versus John Cena in Chicago, not the briefcase. Besides, he won 2 straight briefcases. I'm talking about the pay-per-view where he had the title match against John Cena in Chicago when he left the company. Because he had signed a contract that day. They just ran the storyline and did nothing with it until he came back. Which was stupid. But I'm talking about the title match. The last time he came out to This Fire Burns until they put it in a promo package. Which that was awesome, by the way. That was a pop. I loved that. I agree. I definitely like looking back at 80s wrestling. Past the post, I definitely like looking back at it. 10 minutes to go, 2-0 Toronto. I definitely like looking back at it. Macho Man. Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat. Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Ricky Steamboat. Those matches were, dude. Man, I loved those matches. Those matches, awesome. Like, those are awesome matches to go back and look at. Seriously. Like, those matches, the work that Ricky Steamboat did with Randy Savage, oh my God. Like, amazing. Amazing work. Amazing work. Yeah. Hulk Hogan, when you look at his wrestling career, the golden era, he did very well. Hogan as a person, no. I have no good things to say about Hogan as a person, but his wrestling work, especially the golden era, I mean, there's a reason why he was as big of a star as he was. Hogan as a person, or Terry Bollea, no. Nothing good to say about him. Not a bit. Not a bit. But Hulk Hogan was a star for a reason. I will say that much. As a wrestler at the Golden Era and Hollywood, Hulk Hogan, he was a star for a reason. Now, him as a person, the person behind the character, shitbag. Shitbag. I don't, which kind of, how do I put it? Terry Bollea deserves the boos that he gets. The character Hulk Hogan doesn't. It's a tricky subject, but, you know, this fire burns. I like Colt's personality, but this fire burns is better. I'm sorry. It is. It is. Unpopular opinion, I don't give a shit. Jake the Snake, yeah, pretty good. Because he got, well, it's not because of why they hate him now. I'll tell you that much. He got stale. That's why he turned heel. And he got the heel heat that he was working for. Now, why people hate him now is because he's a shitbag. He's a known shitbag. There's a difference. There's a difference. Nice. Small world. I agree. I agree. I love the shenanigans they got up to. Rest in peace, Shiki baby. Rest in peace, Shiki baby. Legend. Forever a legend. The Iron Sheik. Man, it sucks we lost him. It does suck. Rest in peace to a legend. Forever a legend. Iron Sheik. Forever a legend. '84th minute. '84th minute. Cervania for Barajas. 6 minutes to go. Interesting. I'm surprised it's not Baltimore, Maryland. Because Michael Phelps, of course. I'm sure there's somebody else from Baltimore that's won an Olympic gold medal, but Michael Phelps, I thought, won enough for the city per capita. Save off the bar and out for a corner. Let's keep the clean sheet. I would have thought Baltimore, Maryland, just because of Michael Phelps, the GOAT. Yes, I love swimming. I love the sport of swimming. Hell, I watch Worlds sometimes. I don't just watch swimming during the Olympics. I sometimes watch Worlds. Swimming is an awesome sport. I'd say it's my favorite. Well, of an Olympic sport that's only played during Olympics and people don't really focus on it after, except for me, summer-wise, yeah, swimming. Of course, football is number one, and baseball's there too. I'd still say swimming's above baseball when it comes to Olympics time, but summer-wise. But gymnastics, but football is still number one because it always plays. It's like hockey. I don't call hockey an Olympic sport. It's in the Olympics. I love hockey. I love watching hockey during the Olympics, but during the Winter Olympics, when I talk about sports that I love as Olympic winter sports that most people only pay attention to during the Winter Olympics, and I sometimes watch outside of it, speed skating, curling. Yes, I watch the Briar. Yes, I watch the Briar. I do watch curling outside the Olympics. Curling's an awesome sport. I knew curling before everybody else did. Like, Vancouver 2010 happened. Here's a funny story. Vancouver 2010 happened. All my classmates were like, oh, curling looks so fun. I'm like, I've been watching curling for years. Do you know what the Briar is? No. Look it up. There's more than just Olympic curling. Look up the Briar. Watch the Briar. Then you can admit you're a curling fan. I kind of gate-capped. I won't lie. Find out. Watch the Briar. Then you can call yourself a curling fan. Oh, God. It was a pretty good goal. It was a pretty good goal. I have to admit it. No. I agree. 87th minute, 2-0 Toronto. (2012). Yeah, I saw that. Future Leaf. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. If Lesnar's son was a Leaf at some point, that would be funny. You think I make too many phenomenal Willie Styles references right now? Just wait. Just wait till Brock Lesnar's son becomes a Leaf. Just wait. Hey, Leafs fans shouldn't have started calling William Nylander Willie Styles. I knew where to go with it. I'm the only one who makes the phenomenal references, and they don't want none. I know, I'm the only one who does that part. But do you expect that from me? I'm also an AJ Styles stan, if you can't tell. I've always been a fan of AJ Styles. But when I hear Styles, I think phenomenal, so why wouldn't I call? And Willie plays like he's phenomenal during the playoffs. He does. He does. So it works. It's not like he's trash in the playoffs like Mitch Marner most of the time. Willie always shows up, so it makes sense. So do that what you will. I don't think they want to pay for the Jerry Lee Lewis song ever again. That was a Vince idea. Did you really think it was anybody's idea but Vince's? I mean, Great Balls of Fire? Whose idea do you think that was? Corner, 89th minute. True. PSG. You know what? If Harry Kane could break his curse, Tottenham and Chelsea. I can't believe I'm backing Tottenham to win a trophy. I can't believe I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. I want to see Arsenal fans just cry. I want to see them cry. United, they could probably get over it. I want to see them cry. PSG, Tottenham, Chelsea would make those guys cry. They would shut up for 3 months. They wouldn't do nothing but cry for 3 months. It would be hilarious. Lol. Yes. I can't believe I'm backing Tottenham to win a trophy, but you know what? Fine. Let's do it. Cross in. 90th minute. How much stoppage time? 4 minutes. Toronto has 4 minutes to hold the clean sheet. Aaron Herrera goes down. He dived. He dived. He dived. He dived. I don't know, but I'm glad they did. They shouldn't have, but I'm glad they did. Because I guess John Cena had to get a win somewhere. But, oh, no, Brock got his back. Don't worry. SummerSlam 2014, oh, Brock got his back. Don't worry. Suplex City. 5th round by Medicine Hat Tigers, WHL. Yep. It's a pretty good pick. I want him to end up a Leaf. Like, no. Yeah. That would be funny. I think, isn't Steve Dangle a mark too? Like, isn't he a wrestling fan too? Yeah, no, that would be funny. Steve Dangle probably be the one to make a video about that when Duke Lesnar comes to Leaf. But wouldn't that be funny? Steve's been a little bit more open about being a mark, though. I mean, he did make a Roman Reigns reference when Sam Bennett elbowed Stallers in the head. So, also the Money in the Bank reference he did, like a month ago with the St. Pat's game or something? Yeah. He's a mark. Draft steal, Lamau. They should, but it's LG now, not GE. So now it's a TV. Wait, no, LG does make washers and dryers, don't they? I know they make fridges. They might still hand out a washer and dryer, actually. But if not, it's a fridge. If not, it's a fridge. Do they make microwaves? I'll take a microwave. I'll take a microwave. Welcome to Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This? I'm your host, Ryan Anderson, and today we have this rival jersey. And right here we have the Ryan Anderson Microwave Laboratory 2.0, where safety, we thought about it. That's why we have this giant tin full shield. It's to protect our nuts because nobody likes roasted nuts. We have fans to circulate the air, and as always, the LG microwave. How long should we put it in there for? I'm going to go ahead and say 5 minutes. Ventilation is key. Ventilation is key. The masks, they do nothing. That still work, you're dumb. 2-0 Toronto. 2-0. 30 seconds to go. It doesn't work the same. It doesn't work the same. '94th minute, headed away. Clear it! Clear it! Shot over the bar. Toronto's actually going to get a clean sheet. Holy shit. Tottenham beat Man United 3 times this season. Well, it's about to be 4. And it's full time. Toronto FC wins 2-0. They got a clean sheet and their first win at home. You'll love to see it. I just hope the Leafs win tomorrow. I hope this doesn't mean the Leafs lose tomorrow. That's all I hope. But Toronto FC wins their second game of the season, their first home game. I don't think it's their first clean sheet. Let me check. So many pages, so little time. Against Nope. Clean sheet 1. Nope. Clean sheet 2. Both their wins have been clean sheets. So there you go. First home clean sheet at least. Clean sheet. Second home clean sheet. Their draw against Minnesota. So that's 3 clean sheets. Okay, that's better than I expected. Oh yeah, Vancouver was a clean sheet. Miami wasn't. So that's 4 clean sheets. 3 home clean sheets. Yes. Okay, that's better than I thought, actually. 2-1 loss to Red Bull. Nope. 1-2 loss to Chicago. Nope. 2-0 loss to Cincinnati. 4-2 loss to Orlando. Yep. And a 2-2 draw to DC. So that's 4 clean sheets. 3 at home, 1 away, 2 wins. Okay. With that being said, there you go. Toronto wins. We'll find out. Toronto wins first win at home. 3 clean sheets at home. 1 away. 2 of their clean sheets have been wins. 2 have been draws. Either way, with that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. And tomorrow we'll be live for Game 4 of the Leafs-Panthers series. And we'll review that once that's over as well. And then we're off till Wednesday for a double on Wednesday of TFC versus Cincy and Game 5, because there will be a Game 5 no matter what happens tomorrow of Panthers at Leafs. So we have a double. Both games in Toronto as well. We have a double. Yeah, because they played Cincinnati and Cincinnati. They have a double on Wednesday. So tomorrow, then we're off till Wednesday. So review, live review, Leafs tomorrow, off till Wednesday, double. So there you go. And TFC wins. So awesome. With that being said, I'll see you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See ya.